we've gone over this before, but I hear people pronouncing your name lots of different ways. How do you like it pronounced?
In France, it's pronounced Aimée,
Right.
but I was born in the United States. And so it's Aimée,
Amy.
and it's spelled the French way. So Aimee. I respond to both.
Okay.
Funny story. I realized with my husband recently, when he needs to get my attention or he's mad at me, he calls me Aimée in French.
Amy.
But like when he's just talking to me and it's just fine, it's Amy. And I just realized it recently. I was like, are you mad? He goes, a little. And I was like, you just called my name in French. And I just put that together. We've been married for 20 years. And I didn't realize that.
So it's interchangeable.
So it's interchangeable.
Based on the context.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Aimée or Amy, I will respond.
Okay. Well, we talked not too long ago. Was that this year or was that the end of last year?
I think it was the end of last year.
That's right. And that was a fun talk. That was one of my favorite episodes that I've done. New things have happened since then. So I don't know. Let's have a little fun. Let's like wing it. What's been going on?
Since last time we talked, I released a new book.
Okay.
So Neons and Neutrals, my book came out in March.
Okay.
And this was a really exciting project to work on because I wanted to create kind of a community book where I brought together a whole bunch of brands and mixed them all together. So it was like mixing a neon with a neutral and making it wearable. So, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the process of making the book. Like what kind of your vision was for it? Other than the theme.
The vision was that I wanted to mix different brands and I also wanted new designers. So I made a submission call for this book. Unlike Worsted, my first book, I reached out to those designers and asked them if they wanted to be a part of the project. The submission call was insane. We received over 250 submissions, which I didn't expect that to happen. I thought that we would get maybe like 20 or 30. It was incredibly exciting and scary at the same time because I had to go through and curate down to 16 designers. And so I had to go and say no to people. And that was really hard.
I know about that.
Yeah, it was really, really hard because I'm a pleaser and I want to make everyone happy. And it was an incredible way to meet new designers. So in Neons and Neutrals, you will find seasoned designers like Brandy Cheyenne Harper, Cecilia Compachero, who have been around for a while and designing. And then there'll be brand new designers like Inya Sang. Her first sweater design is in the book. So, and that was really exciting to be able to collaborate with all these different levels of designers and bring it together into a collection.
Yeah. And what has the reception been like? What have you been seeing out in the wild?
I think that people are really excited about Neons and Neutrals. A lot of people come up to me and say like, oh, you've given me permission to like mix these brands together. Also, I've gone as far as mixing hand-dyed yarns with commercially dyed yarns as well, because a lot of people, I mean, I've been a yarn shop owner for a long time and a lot of people really just want to kind of stick to a certain kind of yarn. And I'm like, it's okay to mix the weights together and like make something new.
Yeah.
So yeah,
totally. Yeah. And I think one of your specialties is always, well, first off, just your eye for color. Like everyone associates you with yellow. I didn't plan this, but I woke up this morning, got dressed and went, oh, I'm going to talk to Amy today and I'm wearing yellow. My earliest memories of you, and we've kind of followed each other online for a long, long time, is just your eye for color, like your ability to kind of create these pairings, not only just neutrals and neons, but like, I don't know, just curating and giving people permission about color. You should go back and listen to Amy and I's podcast episode we did back this past fall for making, and we talk about yellow and just how like you found this freedom with yellow and the story behind that.
We get real deep in that one, and I really enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah. It's funny how, I mean, this setting is a little bit different. We're like in a very public place and like it's loud and there's lots of distractions and there's an energy that's a bit different. So we're going to have a little bit more of a playful conversation today and kind of talk about the different things that are coming out. But Amy, I just adore you. So definitely go listen to that episode. So what are you working on right now? This is a question I never ask, by the way. So
I've got lots of things. If you know me, I don't sleep very much and I'm constantly thinking of new and innovative ways to use yarn and color. I have a couple new bases coming out this fall. I have a collaboration with Brooklyn Tweed that's going to be coming out on September 15th.
Cool.
They have a base called Imbue that they are letting me dye on.
Wow.
Which is incredible. It's this incredible worsted weight base that we will be launching on September 15th. Brooklyn Tweed has their version of Imbue, and then there'll be LBA, La Bien Aimée Imbue.
Okay.
And then after that release, I'll be releasing a luxury base called Volute, which I brought a little sampling here of it. It's knitted like this. It's
gorgeous.
Light fingering weight, 50% cashmere, 50% merino, non-superwash. And it's dyed in my classic palette. These are two colors right now that I'm absolutely adoring right now, sea glass and anemone. So that base will come out at the end of September. And this fall, we are going to dip our toes into fiber.
Okay.
So I just learned to spin last week.
What? Last week?
Last week. So I've been using the drop spindle, and I tried to spin, like, I think the last time I tried to spin was 8 years ago when I was in Shetland. I was lucky enough to take a spinning class with Elizabeth Johnston.
Mhm.
If anyone knows Shetland knitting, you know Elizabeth Johnston. And I wasn't ready, and I even talked with her about it, and she says, you're not ready. And so I feel like I need to go back to Shetland now and say, like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I learned last week. I'm loving the drop spindle, and we are going to be releasing fiber based on our confetti line. So this is our recycled yarn initiative that we started at La Bien Aimée to recycle in the fibers the fiber waste from our studio, mixing it with new fibers. So this is a Shetland merino blend. So Shetland wool plus some superfine merino. And inside, I don't know if you can see here, there's like little bits of colors, and that's the little threads from my studio that have been combed into the fiber. And you'll be able to hand spin this, make your own yarn.
Yeah.
Starting this fall.
Which I mean, I love all your yarns, but that's a particular favorite.
I really like this. Yeah.
So how many colors will you be releasing, or bases?
So it'll be like we released Corey confetti last year. It'll be one palette at a time, one color at a time. We have 8 colors lined up to be released over the year.
Wow.
So this fall we will start with Nightfall, which is our darkest color that we made during Corey confetti that people loved, and it sold out immediately. It's like this kind of midnight blue, black color. So that will be the first color to come out this fall.
I love it. So last we talked to, just a quick synopsis. You've had a couple different stores that storefronts, a cafe, moved to another store, and now you don't have a storefront.
No.
And tell us a little bit about your day-to-day, like in your studio. What does it look like for you?
My studio was custom built. So when we were able to find this space in 2019, it was completely empty. So it's almost kind of like this venue space. It's just like a cement floor. And we went in and constructed all the walls and built the dream studio that I wanted. My day-to-day is pretty much managing operations and then working on my creative projects right now. I've been able to build up a team around me that allows me to have some creative time for myself. And the creative time is really important because that's where I develop the new colorways, think about the next books that I'm going to be working on. I've already started working on my next book. So that's really nice. I'm lucky to have a team. La Bien Aimée now has 30 employees.
Wow.
And I run it with my husband. My husband is my business partner, and we have a nice management team that works with us that helps us to manage all the teams. But yeah, so my day-to-day changes. Actually, it could be a day full of meetings where I'm meeting with all the managers, or I might roll up my sleeves. Sometimes I feel like I need to have a quiet moment. I'll go into the call it the YMCA. It's the pre and post production team, and I'll go in there and wind yarn with them. I'll tag yarn. Kind of doing these like repetitive tasks helps me kind of empty my mind a little bit, and I can actually think clearer. You will see me responding to emails. I mean, I will go into our color advice box. I love to read the emails from my clients, and I'll respond to some of those emails. But yeah, I mean, I knit every day at work.
Yeah.
So that happens too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How do you balance business and kind of the creative part? Because I mean, I think anyone who's had a business and it's in a creative venture, I think can struggle with this from time to time. I feel like it's a consistent struggle for me that the business doesn't take over the creative side, but how have you been able to kind of split that?
I protect my creative time. So during the week, I work Monday through Friday. I've started not going into the office on Monday so that I can be at home. I feel incredibly inspired working at home. It's a place that I love to be. And so I will usually work from home on Mondays, and then I come into the office on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I'm in the office And I noticed that my staff, they like it when I'm there. They want to see me. I go and talk with everyone, but these are 2 days that are no meeting days. So like in my calendar, it says no meetings. So my assistants or any of my managers are not allowed to schedule any meetings on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And this is my creative time. So I will sit and in my office, I'll do a lot of swatching. Sometimes I'll design colors, or I will lay out color palettes and figure out what we're going to be doing for kits for the fall. That happens on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, which is really nice because I know every week that Tuesday and Wednesday, no one's going to come bother me in my office. I really like being in my office. It's a space that I've created for myself so that I can be creative. I take my shoes off. I walk around barefoot. You know, it's a wonderful place to be. And then Thursdays and Fridays are usually packed with meetings with managers of my staff, or meeting with my employees. I usually go and have lunch with them in the lunchroom on those days and just to interact with them. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's great because I don't know, like I think maybe earlier in your ventures, you maybe didn't have that time. And
Did not.
it's like you try to save out time, but it always ends up kind of getting taken up. And I have found like I'm very protective of like Mondays, but I love the idea of even 2 other days being working days, but not meeting days. I think that's huge.
Yes, it's made a big difference. It was something that I set up pretty quickly because as my team grew, I had my staff scheduling meetings with me on my calendar. And I was like, every day I had meetings. And I was like, you guys, I don't even have time for lunch, or I need time just to be quiet and think for myself. So I decided to take those 2 days for myself. And also Saturdays and Sundays, I don't work. So as soon as Fridays, I could probably work until about 7 or 8 o'clock. But I leave my computer at work. I come home and I'm with my children on the weekends. And I generally don't check my email. I don't really do anything on social media or anything like that. So I really keep my weekends for family time. And then having those 2 days of being in the office, I can be there to talk to people, but I'm just have that creative moment myself. It's so important.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think about Flock so far?
I think Flock is great. I love going to first year festivals. It's a great way to see like how the festival was born. When Jess asked me if I would like to be a part of this, I had said yes immediately. I have family in Portland, so I thought this is really close. Seattle's close to Portland. This means I can go and do a work event and then go see my family afterwards. And so I think it's a great idea. I feel like it fills this pocket of time where there is really no festival going on, especially in this part of the US.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the vibes are great.
Yeah.
Like, and this building's great. Here it's like all open on either side and has like all this natural light. It's been really awesome.
It's really great. If you need to go outside, you can go outside. If you want to come inside and be covered, it's like an old airplane hangar.
Yeah.
So it's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. San Francisco, I remember, had some kind of interesting events like this, but I haven't been to any like this in Seattle for fiber. What's next for you other than, you know, working on a book and new yarns and bases and stuff?
Well, for the immediate, I will finish my book tour this year.
Okay.
After Flock, I'll be off for 2 weeks and I'll come back to the West Coast and I will have events in Portland and then in San Francisco on Bainbridge Island. And then after that, I'll go back to France mid-September. I have a festival in Lyon, France. And then after that, I fly to Japan at the end of the month and I will do the last part of my book tour in Japan and Korea.
Okay.
I'll be there for about 4 weeks before flying back to Rhinebeck and doing my last book signings at Rhinebeck of the year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are you having fun on tour? Does it feel like a lot?
At first, it felt like a lot because I needed to wrap my mind around traveling that much. My travel schedule consists of being away for 5 weeks and but being home for 6 weeks after. I've gotten really good at packing, like really good at packing. And I do laundry in the sink. I'm like, literally this trip, I even brought less clothes. My husband looked at my suitcase. He's like, it's like half empty. I'm like, I know, I have space in there so I can buy fiber. And because I knew I was going to be going to Flock Festival and some other shops, but you really don't need as much stuff when you're traveling long term if you are willing to do laundry in the sink.
Yeah.
So
I know. I know about that. I haven't actually been home in 2 weeks because I've been also traveling. And I realized the other day I've been in New York, San Francisco, and Seattle in the past 2 weeks. And it's
wow.
like, yeah, I mean, you've done this, you know, it's like, yes, it might seem glamorous and like fun, and it is fun, but it's also kind of like, it's hard to get your bearings. because you're moving from place to place?
I've gotten really good at adapting to jet lag. A lot of people have been asking me like, how do you do it? And I have a secret. I just don't eat on the airplane. I don't eat on the airplane, and I exercise
Okay.
the minute I get into a new time zone, and I acclimate myself exactly to that time zone. So even if I like arrive at 3 o'clock, it's not lunchtime, it's not dinner. I don't eat. I wait until the next meal,
Mhm.
but I go out and like get that sun on my face,
Mhm.
and I sit and watch the sunset that day that I
Mhm.
arrive. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, literally, I flew from Paris last week and had no jet lag. I woke up the next morning and I was like, I feel great.
That's amazing. Okay. I'll have
So,
to try that.
Yeah.
I've always really struggled with that.
It really makes a difference getting that sun on your face and just being out, and something about exercising and not eating on the airplane. You know,
That's a trick I've not heard.
the
So
food's
that's-
not so great on the airplane. If you need to eat on the airplane, bring something that you know that and you love from home.
Yeah.
A pack of nuts or something like that, and just stay hydrated.
What are you reading right now?
I'm reading Michelle Obama right now.
Okay.
So I'm reading Michelle Obama's new book, and I've been reading some books on fiber blends because I've
Okay.
been making yarns. So
Mhm.
that's pretty much what's been on my reading list.
What about podcasts? You do not have to
Podcasts.
say making any podcasts.
Actually, I've been really enjoying Andrea Mowry's podcast.
Okay.
So I've been watching hers and Hohi Locatelli.
Oh yeah.
Those are two people that I admire in the industry. And I started my own podcast. So
I just saw that. I was going to ask you about that.
I just put my first episode
I
up
saw that. It was so
yesterday.
cute. You're so adorable on there.
It gets you getting used to talking to yourself, but it came pretty easily. So
Yeah. Tell me about the podcast.
So the podcast will be a way for me to give you a little bit longer format of what I've been working on. I didn't really like doing lives on Instagram. It just felt so sterile and just distant. I want people to be able to interact and be able to come back to the content again a little bit later. And also I wanted to have an opportunity to like just hang out and chat with my friends. And so on my first episode, I have Nancy Marchant, who has joined me.
I saw that.
And we had a nice conversation about intarsia, spinning, crochet. So I think there's going to be some crochet content coming later this year. But yeah, it's just a way for me to engage with people in a different way.
Yeah. Amazing first guest. Her work blows me away.
Yeah.
Like all the sweaters she makes with like the weaving, like I've never seen anything like that. I don't know if I would have the patience to do that.
It is easier than you think. I
It
took a
is?
class with her last
Really?
year.
'Cause it looks very complicated.
If you're comfortable with intarsia, it's not hard at all. It's just
Okay.
knit and purl, and intarsia is very easy as well. So we debunked intarsia a bit in my YouTube
Okay.
channel. So people are feeling a little scared or worried about intarsia. They should not.
Because I've seen her photos and there'll be like little cards of
Yes.
like,
So
and
she
there's
makes
many
little
of them.
bobbins.
Yeah.
And we talk about that option of making
Yeah.
bobbins when you're knitting intarsia, but I just like leave long threads.
Okay.
So
Does she have patterns out in that
yes.
design? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check out.
Yeah.
That's
She's
fascinating.
released her woven knitting ebook.
Okay.
So
I'll have to
definitely check that out.
Any good movies you've seen lately or shows?
No,
you
but I
like?
feel like I need to go see the Barbie movie. My daughter told me that she loved it. My best friend told me that he loved it. So I was like, I need to go see this.
I know. I was talking with David about going and seeing it tonight. It's like no kids, like go see it. I've heard it's very, very, very good.
I did watch a really great show on Apple TV called Drops of God.
Okay.
It's about wine tasting. It's in Japanese, French, and English.
Okay.
And if you like wine, and even if you don't like wine, it's fascinating.
Okay.
So yeah.
Good. What show did I just watch on? Oh, Shrinking.
Oh yeah.
Have
I
you
saw
seen
that. I
that?
loved it. I love
I
Harrison Ford.
Was laughing so hard. I was surprised at how much I liked that show. That was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And then Jen just got me hooked on Hijack. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, like a 2-hour movie spread out across 8-hour episodes.
I'd love to see that. Yeah.
good.
I'll definitely cue that one up.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Well, any parting words? Anything you want to say?
Nothing much. I just think that I hope that I'm looking forward to the fall coming back and we're back into sweater weather and knitting. So
Yeah. Let's do it.
let's knit.
Keep your eye out. Aimee always has amazing things. Check out her Instagram. Check her out on the Making app. Check out her new book too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.